Hello, thank you for taking my question.
Sure.
I don't know if this is really a question or a comment, but it's a thought I've had ever since I've watched The Sopranos. And I don't know if this was something you felt on the set or if you've heard from people. Sopranos was the only show that I ever had this reaction to, which was, it was on late on Sunday night, it was 9 to 10, end of the weekend, beginning of the new week, and there came a time when I was pacing back and forth. I can't watch it, it's just too upsetting, it's not a good way to go to sleep. And I would pace around, and I could never skip it, because there was this tremendous need to know what happened to these people whom I cared about. And I knew other people who felt that way. I don't want to have to watch it, but I can't not watch it. I did. So my question, I guess, is, did you feel that in any way, you and the people you work with? And are you aware that that, I know, was a common reaction, that we were so drawn to it we couldn't look away? And it wasn't morbid, we just cared.
Wow. That's very sweet. A little bit. I mean, I would hear from people, oh, we get together as a group and we watch it. I mean, all that stuff is really, you know, who in their artist or not doesn't want to feel on some level that they can have that kind of effect on other people. We're moved by something you did. I don't know. I mean, what else is there? So that is very, very meaningful to me. And I do, on the same level, I do feel a tremendous sense of responsibility for that, because of that. That I don't want to just be putting, you know, crap out onto the airwaves that I myself don't care about the outcome of it, or what we're saying, or, you know, the kind of behavior we're espousing, or whatever it is. Media is huge, you know, television in particular, the effect it can have, and I care a great deal about the fact that people are actually watching and their hearts are becoming activated in some way. So for the most part, that it's absolutely thrilling. And there also is a little bit intimidating at times, that I have to be very vigilant, because it's no joke, and especially if kids are coming in contact with any of this stuff, you know, which doesn't mean
your kids are going to have to be like 30 before they can ever see anything you've ever done.
They just, but they think
what do they think you do?
Well, I was in a swimming pool in Sag Harbor a couple of years ago, and an airplane went by with a banner that had my face on it. Nurse Jackie, and my kids were like, Mama. I don't know how I'm ever going to explain that. I can't even explain it to myself, so. But
actually,
I care about that.
I just had an image that really Carmela Soprano was much more dangerous than Nurse Jackie.
There are pieces of parts or moments in characters that emotionally either you've had a really difficult time getting to or getting out of. People you know, parts of a person that you've kind of find popping up in your personality or in your personal life that you don't want there, maybe?
Not so much. Not anymore. I think that used to happen years ago to an extent that was sort of dangerous, where the line between me and them was a little fuzzy, which I used to think was good acting. I mean, you're so good that you lose. You know, now I realize it's not. It is actually dangerous. And I think because I've been doing it a long time, I have a certain. Before I decide to commit to playing something, I have a pretty good sense of whether or not it's something that's going to be safe for me. Like, because I'm so far away from my actual struggle with addiction, I feel great freedom to explore all that now. I don't feel like it's, you know, putting me in any danger of my sobrieties, and it's actually beautiful. It's actually fulfilling in a different way, but no, I'm pretty clear, and I love that at the end of a day's work, I come home, I open the door, and I have Mama, and I have the kids and the dog, and everybody jumping on me, and my day's done. I do leave it there, and I pick it up again when I go back.
My question is about The Sopranos. Your character as the wife of Tony, I thought changed and got more complex and deeper, and I'm wondering, did you have a role in that?
Not legitimately. I mean, David Chase has said he cast the actors in the roles, and then to some extent started writing for the actor who's playing it. You know, they start to sort of fine tune it according to who's playing it. Like the part of Tony's sister she was supposed to be a lot like the mother, very sort of mean, and then they cast Aida Turturro, and it turned into some whole other thing, you know, the sort of loopy Parvati character that she was for a while. And so, yeah, the writers were tailoring it for the people who were playing the parts. So that, I don't know, who I am might have infiltrated into that in some way.
So active in television and film and theater. I'm wondering if there's one that appeals to you more, or they're just challenging in different ways. And
That's
pays
exactly
the
what
best?
it is. Oh my God, television.
Okay.
They are really totally different. I mean, obviously, it's all acting, but the challenges are so different. And if I'm doing television for a long time, you start to get that craving to do something in theater. And then after 4 months of a play running, you're like, I don't ever want to do this again. I got to find a movie, you know. So that I've been lucky enough that I can sort of swerve around to what it is that I'm hungry for, and it has sort of been ideal the way things have panned out. So I think I have a pretty attuned sense of what is interesting. I don't know, to me, anyway. I can only be my own gauge. And I haven't seen a single movie, and I can't remember the last time where I thought, oh, I wish I had been seen on that, or I wish they considered me for that part, you know. I mean, very rarely, very rarely. So, and I have been challenged and tickled pink by the stuff I've gotten to do over the last, I don't know, 15 years. So I only really want to be where I've been, where I am. So it might very well be. I mean, also, there's so much money involved in the shenanigans that go on with movie making in this country.
Yeah,
the
they
big
don't want to
version
take
of it.
risks for $50
They're not going to
million.
do. That's right. That's right. And my type has a very specific place, you know, in today's movie making, and that doesn't really interest me. You know, the crazy neighbors. You know,
I went to Emerson for 2 years and got so tired of learning about myself that I had to leave and learn about other people. But I want to hear about your experience at Purchase.
Oh, well, see, there were 10 women were accepted in my year, 20 men and 10 women. There were 30 of us that were traveled together as a company over the 4 years, and the other women were all very classically beautiful, like ingenue types. So they didn't know what to do with me, basically. So all these girls got all the leads, and whatever parts were left over, I got. Like, I got the crazy old grandmother, and they would, like, black out a tooth for the homeless woman, and, like, not realizing that when they want, like, a 50-year-old, oh, my God, that's me now. Jesus Christ. I'm not really 50, but I'm closer than I've ever been.
Let's hope.
Yeah. That when they wanted somebody older in the real world, they're not going to get a 21-year-old and black out her teeth. So that it was very. I was also very, very shy in a college full of girls and people in particular who were really about, you know, just whatever, describing what they did. I look up here and then I can access a number or a memory from. I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know how any of this works. And so I kind of got stepped on a little bit, you know. And I think it's just because I'm not an easy one to categorize. So the teachers did the best they could with a large group, and I kind of was always straggling behind. But it's funny, with all due respect, I get asked to come back to Purchase a lot and speak. And I do it when I can, and then finally my manager said, can I just write them a letter? And he wrote them saying, Edie was really not treated well there. I don't know why you keep asking her to come back. You know, she's being polite and everything, but you know, I was put on probation because of a speech impediment. And I was told by a teacher, you're never going to work in TV or film.
Hey, I once wrote that Liam Neeson wasn't going to be big because of his accent. So, you know,
shows what they know. But anyway, it was hard. It was really hard for me, like asking a centipede how they walk or whatever kind of thing. Like I didn't know how to describe what I was doing. And in college, they needed that. The teachers needed to be able to have their work sort of regurgitated back to them, like, oh, I used that technique, and like I didn't know what I was doing. So anyway, it was hard. But I also met, you know, probably 10 of the closest people I'm closest to in the world during that period of time. So I made the best of it.
Are any of them as famous as you?
Of course not. We wouldn't be friends anymore. No.
That's the best revenge.
No, a lot of Purchase people are
no, I know.
Doing a ton of.
Like if there's something out there that's great, how do you think it makes its way to you? Does it have to be through, oh, I know Eric, I trust Eric, so of course I'll read that?
Yeah.
Yes?
It really is a little bit like that. It's a bit of a crapshoot, you know, like this nurse Mona that I told you about was written by the next door neighbor of one of my best friends in California. My friend Matt said, listen, my friend Evan, my next door neighbor, wrote a script. You really should read it. It's called Nurse Mona, and you should read it. And I did, and this is what my life is now. But had he tried to get it, had he tried to, what is the word there? Had he tried to have gotten it to me another way, I don't know that I ever would have seen it. And if it had gone straight to my agency in LA and one of my, whatever, agent's assistants read it,
Never.
and may not have found it interesting, I never would have seen it. But the truth is, I do get sent a lot of stuff, and if we had time, I would read you some of these things that people send from, you know, wherever in the Midwest and whatever, and they want to, all due respect to the Midwest, but I mean, they aren't necessarily involved in this industry in any way. I get sent a ton of stuff, and I want to be polite and all that and try to get back to everybody, but it's a lot to do when I have 2 kids and a full-time job and, you know, all this other stuff, to just read stuff that doesn't come from a friend or someone who has read it or someone I trust, and so it gets complicated.
And your experience having seeked out work in those years, to if giving up isn't an option.
Someone you know?
My friend.
I got a friend. You just keep doing it. It's true. If giving up isn't an option, or you haven't had that, if you haven't studied that other thing to fall back on, like your parents suggested, you just keep doing it. There's always something going on in New York. You get those stupid magazines, Showbiz or Backstage, and you find some little thing and you do it. You just keep doing it, getting better at your craft, though I hate that word. Even auditioning is an opportunity to practice, you know. You just keep doing it. You don't know where it's going to land. Make sure you have money coming from someplace, you're working at some other job, or have rich parents, however kids do it these days. But and just keep doing it. Any little thing, any student film, you know, I did all of it for years and years and years. As long as there was a script in my handbag, I was happy. And that's the only suggestion is ever just keep doing it.